Everyone, it's Jeannie, and today I am sharing this set of cards that I created using a couple different products. I'm using the Pigment Craft Company Dashing Sentiments stamps and dies, Mama Elephant's sentiment strips, and Trinity Stamps A2 quilted cover plate die. I picked out a bunch of different colored cardstocks that I thought looked really cute together. It just happened to be bright and cheerful and pastel-y almost, but not really. They're just bright, pretty colors. I pulled out the Mama Elephant sentiment strip, and I'm using the second size in it, and I am die cutting a bunch of these stripes out in all these different cardstocks. I actually did it for additional pieces of cardstock. I didn't show it on the video, but I did cut out a ton. I still have a ton left over. I took a full piece of cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11, and I am covering the entire thing with Stick It adhesive. Stick It adhesive is a very thin double-sided adhesive that you can die cut through with intricate dies, and it is super helpful. I actually am only using half of the piece of paper that I covered up. I'll be using that other half for another project, and I will be removing the backing on the other side and revealing the adhesive so I can add all the different stripes of cardstock on this paper because I am creating this striped panel full of all the different colors. It is super labor intensive. I didn't plan on going into this and creating so much work for myself, but I ended up wanting to use all the different sentiments, so I ended up with 6 different cards. I just went for it. It was a Friday night, I think. I didn't have anything else to do because who has plans these days? I put on a TV show and I just went ahead and worked on it. It was kind of mindless and I really liked it. So normally I would just keep the sentiment together, adhere it to my Misti, and stamp the entire thing. But I really wanted different designs for the stripes. I wanted them to go either diagonal, vertical, kind of like at a tilt. So I removed all the stamps and placed it into my Misti. Also, I do this because I want to be able to double stamp it with Versamark ink. I do prep the area with anti-static powder tool because I will be doing heat embossing, and because of the dimension that the stripes kind of add to the card panel, I definitely will double stamp and use that anti-static powder tool because the embossing powder will try to get into the little crevices. When you do die cut, it kind of leaves an indentation on the actual item that you're cutting out. So these stripes kind of have an extra indentation at the edges. It kind of added texture to it for the heat embossing, which I thought was kind of cool. I didn't expect it, but it happened and I was okay with it. I was just glad that this turned out well and it heat embossed well because I really didn't want to have to create another card panel full of these stripes because I didn't want to waste this. So once I have it ready and covered with embossing powder, I'm double checking that there's no excess anywhere and all the little pieces are covered. I will go ahead and heat set this. I think this is my favorite part of heat embossing because it's just magical and pretty and really cool to watch. But I do think heat embossing is really messy and it does get everywhere. Even if you have a Swiffer towel nearby, it's still messy. Like I still can feel the embossing powder on my desk and on the hands and things like that, but I'm okay with it because it's so pretty. I thought it was really cool how everything turned out. You can see a little bit of the texture within the lines and the edges, and I'm okay with that. So I'm using the coordinating dies, which are really cool. I actually had purchased this thinking that the letters were all stuck together, and most of them are. It's just a few of them aren't. So like you and me, the hello friend, they actually cut out separately. It adds a different element to it because you can kind of manipulate how you want to line them up. Unexpected surprise. So I also went ahead and cut out a ton of those sentiment dies in white cardstock so I could layer this up and add dimensions to the sentiments. I will be using the Trinity Stamps quilted cover die, and that will add a little bit of texture to my grade cardstock, which I think I already went ahead and did at this point. The quilted die actually cuts out that pattern on the cardstock, and it has coordinating stencils that go with them. So the stencils will add either stars, dots, or hearts, I believe, at the intersections of the quilt. but I'm not going to be doing that for today's card. I am actually trying to use my embellishments. I will be adding embellishments at every one of those intersections on all these cards. So 6 cards, that's a ton of embellishments. So you can see the quilted pattern on that piece of gray cardstock to your left, and I'll just be adding the embellishments there. So I thought that that was a cool die to have because you can do whatever you want with it. And even if you have something similar, you probably could cover up whatever's in the middle with embellishments as well. So this is the second labor-intensive part of this card, which is probably why I won't be recreating this card anytime soon. I went ahead and cut those stripes into 2 inches and 1 inches, and I am just adding liquid adhesive and adhering it all around. I think I go about 3 rows in, so that's enough for my trimmed down piece of gray cardstock to go over, so enough of that color peeks out and kind of brings the entire card together with the sentiment, because the sentiment has those colorful stripes in the background. While I was doing this, I had just turned on a TV show to watch because I had to watch something. This was kind of so intensive that I was just sitting here gluing all these little different pieces to the card. But I was watching Ginny and Georgia, which is on Netflix. I thought it was really cute. I really liked it, and I am searching for a new show. So if you have any more recommendations, please let me know. I have actually watched a ton of TV this past year, and I still am looking for more and more shows. Once I finished the rows, I went about three rows in on the top and bottom and 2 rows on the right and left side. I added foam tape to the middle area because I wanted to pop up that gray cardstock. So once I remove all that adhesive and the backing, I will go ahead and add my quilted pattern directly onto the foam, and that pops up that portion of it. I will go in with my embellishments. I'll have all the different embellishments listed down below because I ended up using different embellishment for each card. So I have 6 different embellishments. If you don't have enough embellishments in your life, Trinity Stamps has a ton of embellishments on their websites, and I used all of theirs here because I just have a ton of them. I really like neutral, so I have a ton of white ones, silver, iridescent. I use gems and bubbles, so I use a variety for this project, and you'll see the photos on my Instagram because I am not showing you guys every single one of these cards put together because it would just take forever. I cut out a lot on this card because I actually didn't plan to film it, but I did, and I just wanted to share it because I really liked all the sentiments. So once I was done adding the embellishments, I left space in the middle for my sentiment. So I kind of mapped it out ahead of time just to make sure that I wouldn't put embellishments under the sentiment. And that is my first card. I will be sharing all of the cards that I created, and I thought they turned out so fun. So there are 6 different sentiments, and I used all 6. They're all portrait cards except for one, which is landscape, and that will be the hello friend. I thought they just turned out so pretty, and I thought they were so fun, but I probably won't do this again. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time with another one. Bye.